All right, as far as the install, you're definitely going to want to take your time on this, making sure that you get it to the best of your liking, I guess is what you could say. I do have measurements from a friend, like I said, in Australia. I'll be pretty close to them, but I will change a little bit. Again, my car, how I want it. I always start with the door piece, and then I tape all mine, get some blue tape, put over the top of them, just in case you drop it, you won't scratch it up, make it look like crap. But for the first part is the install over here. Body trim I leave on, and this stuff's just kind of temped on because I use it for measurements. But from the bottom part of your trim down here, you're going to measure down 6 inches and put a mark. And then I like to put an X on the bottom just so I know that the trim goes on the bottom. Try to make it simple. And then tape the whole car up, kind of 6 inches down, come back. This piece goes from here is actually from the door jamb over 5 inches, and then it goes up. So that gives you an idea where you want to put your tape. Obviously you're going to want to use tape, especially if your car's already painted. And if not, I use tape anyway, so I don't want to be marking up the car. And then tape, this is just some brown packing tape that I get at the store. It's super sticky, and that's the reason why I use it. The stuff that Ricardo builds or Split Parts Unlimited, it does come straight, and every car has a little bit of a bend and a twist to it. He doesn't put that in there, which is fine. So you're gonna need some good tape because you will have to kind of force it into that bend. But the part that goes against the door, he's got them beveled down nice. They're not a flat cut. Up here by the hinge, it's a flat cut. That doesn't matter. We're gonna push it all the way against there anyway. But to start, you just put it all the way up there and it touches at the top. And then again, you find your 6 inch mark. And then I just kind of hold it there. Put some tape on, make sure it sticks real good. And then work my way down the car, putting some tape here and there, just so it stays on there. And that crack's gonna piss me off, trust me. Yeah, it's gonna piss me off, and I'm sure you're all giggling and laughing, that's fine. Push it up tight. And then I put one in the middle also. Don't do it, I guess don't do it exactly in the middle, because you're gonna make some marks across here where you're gonna poke some holes. So you can offset it a little bit from the middle. So that's kind of on there. We'll leave that on there. And then I'll start with this piece here. Put that piece on. Oh yeah. Which is this little one here. Again, it's beveled on this end, pointed on this end. And then again, you can mark it down, but typically I'll get this one on and I'll make it exactly where I want it. Put another piece of tape if you want to. And then this one is just going to line up. Line up with this one. And I leave it about 1/8 of an inch away from the door gap or edge of the door. Line it up best you can. And then it's on there. I don't have that tape. This is probably the most critical part, in my opinion, of the install, is keeping this body line right. Now I've got measurements and all that kind of stuff, but who knows what happened to these cars. I like to sight it, and that's where I put it. I don't care about the dimensions. I want it nice and straight and sighted. So I'll sight from the back. And also down from the front. Kind of get it where I like it. In my opinion, the bottom's got to come up a little. And this one's going to take a little bit to get right. So I'll come up a little bit. Put another piece of tape, make sure I didn't move that, which I did. So adjust. Got one shot at this, drilling holes. So take your time. Once you drill the holes, that's where it goes. Unless you plan on doing a bunch of body work and repaint, all that kind of nonsense. I actually kind of like where that sits. So that one's where that's going to go. This front piece, super simple. It really just sits tight up against your trim, like so. I do leave a little bit of a gap here, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Pull this one down. I don't know if that's technically how the Australian team does it. So we'll leave a little bit of a gap there. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Make sure she's sitting right. Check again. That works for me. And this last piece, again, there's measurements. I kind of pull a dimension from the edge of the door over 5 inches. And then this one is 3.5 inches down from bottom to top of the trim. And you can adjust that how you want, how it fits to the car. I do. I start with the 5 inch and I put it there. And then I'll come down to the 3 inch, and I've actually already kind of pre-done a lot of this so I'm not wasting all your time. And that kind of fits right for me. And what that does is it leaves room for the fender welting to go through, and it doesn't kind of come all the way up. So I'm good with those. We'll take those on. Again, you might want these in a different spot. I don't know. Your car. And that's kind of where it goes. That's the layout. Sit back. Make sure that's where you want it. You like the way that it looks. And then if you do, pen or pencil, I'll trace it on the tape. So it's on there the best as far as visual. Get it all nice and marked out. Like so, you can mark both sides if you want to. And then when you're happy with it, it's time to drill, which is always the scariest part. Drilling on a car. You're gonna get a lot of people that say you're stupid. Trust me, I've heard it my whole life, building cars. You're gonna hear it too. Especially if you're gonna post any kind of shit online. People like to have heavy keyboard fingers. I'd be lying if I say I don't also. All right. One thing I did forget is on this little one, put it back up there before you take it off like I did. Line it back up and mark the end of where the end is. Probably be a good idea to do that on this one too. All right, now that you're all marked up, here goes the laying out of the holes. This piece here, I'll put 5 clips on it. I'll put 2 clips on this one, 2 clips on this one, and then I'll do 3 or 4 on this one, mostly just 3. And that's kind of where I go. Check your trim. I don't know if every single one's the same, but these trim have ends where the fold over piece starts. You definitely don't want to drill here. It's not going to do any good. You don't want to drill here. So somewhere's obviously in there. Measure the ends of where those are. This one's about a 1/2 inch. This side's 1.5 inches. So on your end marks, just measure over the 1.5 inches, and that's where you can drill, where the edge of it is, and then you're going to pull in a little bit. So this one, you can do it a couple different ways. Measure on your tape, mark on your tape where the ends are. Probably what I recommend you doing. And then you can come in whatever you want. I'll come in a couple inches for this one, inch or so for this one. Put it back up there. Make a mark of where I want the holes. Like so. And you'll do that with all of them. Tape was in the way for this one, so I don't have good marks. So I'll make some marks across. Like that. And then I'll come in 2 inches. And I'll come this way 2.5 inches. And then you just evenly space them out if you want. No, don't need real crazy ones. Sometimes what I've done is on the body trim, you line those up where they go, or so. Right there, there, there. Do the same thing on this one. Right there. And then that's where you're going to drill. And then you're going to measure those 2 lines, which I'm right at 7/8 of an inch. So come back, center it. Alright, we got our holes on where we want them. That one looks, I don't like where that one's at, so we'll double check.
Yeah, off
It's always good to check, 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 and check. Again, you only got one spot or one time to drill it. All right. And then I use a step bit, one that mine on the second step fits the original holes just right. So that's where I'm at. So if I need a drill bit, I don't like using regular drill bits. The first car I did, I used a regular drill bit, and I learned my lesson why you don't want to use a drill bit, because you drill through and then you bury your drill right into your body and dent the crap out of your body. So that was a hard lesson that I learned the first time. So I use this one and just drill it out to the second one. And then these clips, there's 20 of them that come in a pack. You're gonna need, I think it's like 25, 26 to do the whole car. So you gotta get 2 of them. Losing my head. Doesn't really matter which way these go in. Some of you guys with the painted cars, you may want to put this in first with the tape still on. Get it all up there. Stupid. That one I gotta do some work with. I found on this car that there's been a little bit of body work on this side. So my step bit, I didn't get all the way through. I don't want to go any further, so when this video's over, I'll grab a drill bit and push it all the way through so I can get that to clip. Let's see, I did 4 of them on this side. Slide it all the way down to it. And there you are. The Aussie flash trim. Obviously it'd look better if I had all the trim on it, but all I got's this old crap that